This broadcast is a Stephen K. Media production.
The success of the small business person is the cornerstone of the American economy. Welcome to the Small Business Today Show with your hosts, Cruz and Hughes. The Small Business Today Show is for and about small business advancement and development. What we do for you. We'll be taking your calls as we provide you small business intelligence and mentorship needed to grow your business creatively. Keep listening. The Small Business Today Show with Cruz and Hughes starts now.
Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes right here on Blog Talk Radio. This is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. We encourage you to give us a phone call if you'd like to join our conversation. The floor is always open for you. Or if they can call us at 347-857-3958. Again, that number to the studio is 347-857-3958. So how was your day, sir?
I had a great day today, man. You know, coming back from, too much barbecue and too much sleep.
Man, it was a rough day for me, too.
It was.
I almost didn't come in today.
It was tough, man. And you know what, though? It was nice to be able to do that and not have to call anybody and ask for time off.
Oh, man.
How cool is that?
That is the best thing about being self-employed.
That is the best thing about being self-employed, no doubt.
So what did you guys do over the weekend?
You know, we really, this time of year, we celebrate one of my children's birthday.
Okay.
And so we did that. And then one of my other children had a bunch of people over. And so that was fun because they're all young people, right? And so young people keep you feeling young. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And so we just had a great time doing that. And we just ate and slept.
Yeah, I did a whole lot of that, and that's the problem with that.
Yeah,
you can't do too much of it because it's so addictive, and you could just go on for weeks.
Well, and a lot of times it does go on for weeks.
Yeah,
you just kind of leave out in this fog, right? And so anyway, I'm glad to be back, from the holidays, so we can get in the groove and keep rolling.
Absolutely, it's going to be a great week. It's only 4 days, so guys, you need to get it in gear and get it in gear fast.
That's right.
Irv and I want to give you some information that you can use to help build your organization and become that small business powerhouse that you've always longed to become. What do you want to talk about today?
I want to talk about whatever you have lined up because, we started talking about this sort of last week, I guess, when we started talking about, and I don't know if we were talking about this on the air or if we were actually talking about this, kind of what we're going to line out for small businesses. But, John, one of the big deals that I see with small businesses, and I'm guilty of this, by the way, is swinging for the fence all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always swinging for the fence. And when I was much younger in business, I was more guilty of this than I am now because, of course, at my age, folks, I'm wiser now. But back in the day, so to speak, John, I was always trying to hit the home run.
Yeah.
Always swinging for the fence.
Yeah.
The problem with being a home run king is you're probably the strikeout king too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so maybe we can, now I know this doesn't sound, maybe this show is not about baseball.
Well, no, but baseball is, that's a great analogy.
Yeah. And see, I was always guilty of that. And so I don't know, maybe we can share some things with our listeners and give them some insights on the importance of being able to get around the bases.
Let's do that.
Because, swinging for the fence, folks, that's a good thing. It makes you feel great, and it's wonderful when you hear the crack of the bat, if that happens to be a sale for you,
mm-hmm.
and you get to trot down the baseline to first base and watch the fruits of your work go flying out of the park.
That's right.
How cool is that? But does that win you every game?
No.
And that doesn't win you every game. And the minute you fall into that mentality, if you will, the minute you slip into that groove where every time you're at bat, which is a sales opportunity for you, you're swinging for the fence, or you ignore the smaller sales opportunities, John, and perhaps you only go for the big deals.
Yeah.
And, I had someone in my sales organization like that years ago who all they did was they went after the big deal.
Yeah.
The problem with that is big deals generally take a long time to close.
That's right.
And so the sales cycle would just stretch out and stretch out, John. It was almost like selling skyscrapers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful if you sell one,
Right.
but you might be 6 years doing it.
That's right.
And so now how do you eat in the interim? And that was always a challenge. And so maybe we can kick that around a bit today.
Well, and when you think about it, as you relate it to getting on base in your business,
Right.
And that's really what it is. When you look at your business, it's sometimes it's difficult not to make that approach whereby you want to. Because think about it, as kids. How did we approach playing sports in the backyard?
Well, yeah.
We always dreamed of hitting the walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth.
Right.
The crowd goes wild.
Right.
Or you're in the driveway with the basketball, and it's 3, 2, 1. You shoot the shot.
Yeah, bang.
From half court, it's all net, and the season's over. You win the championship.
Right.
But what you don't play up in your mind is all the things that it takes to get to that one moment in time.
Right.
And in your business, it's unrealistic for you to believe that every single day you're going to hit that grand slam walk-off home run, or that you're going to hit that half-court shot.
Right.
You have to do things that keep you in the game.
Right.
And those things are what we like to refer to as getting on base. If you get on base enough, you increase your chances of winning. And that's just the bottom line. It's your on-base percentage. And what are you doing in your business to get on base every single day?
Right.
So if I were to say anything to that, Irv, I would say break down your effort, not your goals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking you to step away from that lofty goal that we all have of whatever it is, being able to take care of your family, being able to pay out of pocket for your children's education,
Right.
be able to drive that Bentley or whatever your passion is.
Sport coupe?
Sport coupe.
Bentley
That's the
sport
only
coupe?
way to go. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I was just
Is there another car?
No, not really. All the rest of them are cars, and a Bentley happens to be an automobile.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's right. If you ever use that word,
Yeah.
it has to be when you're addressing a Bentley.
That's exactly right.
But nonetheless, when you think about your business that way, don't break down your goal. Keep your goal where it is, but you have to break down your effort. You have to refocus your steps. And I feel like we should talk today about those necessary steps in getting on base in your business. What gets you on base?
Well, you know what else is, in taking a look at that, what gets you on base, it really causes you to focus more on what's really important.
Mm-hmm.
What those steps are, what those executable steps are, which we're big on this show, what those executable steps are that make you successful.
Mm-hmm.
The things that you would do every day or virtually every day to make yourself successful. And understanding what those are and knowing when to adjust. A lot of times things change in the marketplace, or things may even change in your business. And sometimes, John, people have trouble adjusting if they don't have a system that they're following.
Right.
And so now, what do? It's kind of like you ever get these telemarketing calls, John, and the guy's trying to make a sale and he's following a set script or something.
Oh yeah.
And then he gets you on the phone. He calls right at dinner time, and you say something. You don't respond correctly. You say something that's not on the script, and you hear this eerie, weird pause.
Yeah. While he's flipping to the bottom of the page, trying to catch up with you in the sales process.
Yeah, because you jumped all the way to the end of the sales cycle.
Like if you say something like, "Look, I'd like to have 10 of those delivered to my office tomorrow, and I like them all in pink."
That's right.
How do I do that?
Yeah. Yeah. So you've wrecked the poor guy's script. If he's brand new, he doesn't know what to do.
That's right.
And so, I know that it's important to follow those kinds of principles.
Absolutely. And what we're saying is, I want to make certain that we make ourselves clear. We're not saying don't dream big.
Right.
We're not saying that.
Never.
We're saying dream big, but work to scale.
That's right. Ooh, that's good.
And the scale of your business depends on a few things. Your scale in your operation should be based on these things. Number one, should be based on your budget. Number 2, it should be based on your level of education. Number 3, it should be based on the relationships that you possess in your business. And also based on the people who work in your organization. I mean, we can't open up a brain surgery business, or the both of you and I,
Right.
unless we do what?
Well, we'd have to go to medical school.
Or
hire somebody.
Or hire a brain surgeon, because I know neither one of us wants to.
No.
You know?
I'm not going to mess around in somebody's head.
So those are the 4 things that you really should focus on: your budget, your education, your relationships, and the people that you employ. You're going to make certain that the steps that get you to your dream are based on where you are in all of those positions. And that's some of the things that we're going to talk about in this hour. Getting on base in your business, doing those things that must be done every single day. And sometimes they're not the glamorous things. They're not the things that give you the walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth. You know, it's not that 40-foot falling away jump shot, as the seconds wane down to 0. These are the things that are unceremonious. They're not very glorious.
Right.
But every person who's successful has done these things. We're going to talk more about that when we come back from the break. Guys, stay with us. You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, which is brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. If you'd like to go online, get your free copy of that magazine delivered to your inbox each and every day on how we do business in the city of Houston, all you have to do is go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. More in a moment with Cruz and Hughes. We'll be back right after these messages.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news.
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is?
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan. The storm's coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Gotham directed it. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at svtmagazine.net. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show and welcome back from the holiday weekend. Irv and I are right here every day, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can always listen to us live on Blog Talk Radio. We stream the show live every day. You can see what we do right here in the studio at Ustream.tv. All you have to do is search for Cruz and Hughes and you'll find our show right there. We enjoy having you guys right here in the studio every day, Monday through Friday. Now, Irv, we're talking about getting on base in your business.
Getting on base.
Very necessary.
Right.
I want you guys to look at your business as though you were playing a game, and that game is to win.
Right.
And to win, you don't always win big. You don't always throw an 80-yard bomb down the field.
Right.
Sometimes you have to incrementally just get your yards, play after play after play.
Right.
But the result is still the same. You want to win.
Sure.
So we're going to talk about those things that you must do in order to get on base in your business. Now, when I think about where you want to end up.
Right. And how do you know where that is?
Well, you just have to pull that out. I mean, you have to ask yourself, where do you want to be?
Right.
Now, knowing where you're going is important.
Sure.
But what's crucially important is knowing how to get there.
That's right, because guess what? If you don't know which direction first base is, you can hit and then run to third, and you got a real problem.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going east to get to California, that's you're probably not going to get there.
Well, yeah, you could, but it's a long way.
It's a long
around.
way east, isn't it?
It's a long way around, man.
So the thing is you want to understand where you're going. So when we think about step one, we're going to talk about planning. And I know that you'll probably say, listen, I listen to you guys all the time. You're always talking about planning. Well, there's a reason why we're always talking about it. We're always talking about it because it's materially important to your ability to succeed in your business. If you still have yet to put any type of plan together, guys, I mean, I can't stress this enough. If no plan is no growth. If you're going to grow, if you're going to take your organization to the next level, there has to be a plan that's instituted in your organization, and you have to get the people who work with you on that same plan.
Well, wait a minute, John. Now, there's a reason that small business people don't plan. There is a reason.
Not any good ones.
What? But John, come on. A lot of small business people don't plan because the plan that you're talking about is something that's on paper, it's communicated to the rest of the team, and so on. And small business people, they are the leader in their organization. The plan is in their head. They know where they need to go.
Okay,
so they're the only one in the organization who needs to know that.
Let's take that analogy. And, you and I, we talk about sports a lot. So if you're not a sports fan, you probably will be if you listen to us enough.
That's right.
Let's take Tom Brady's team. I'd say arguably Tom Brady is probably, if not the best quarterback in the game, one of the best to ever played the game.
No doubt.
Either way, you could make an argument.
That's right.
Okay.
I'll agree.
Let's say that his coach, Belichick,
yep.
Let's say that all of his plans for that team stayed in his head.
What?
He never printed a playbook.
Right.
Would we even know who the quarterback of the New England Patriots is?
Well, probably not.
Okay. It's the same in your organization. It's no different. If we look at this as though it were a team, you're the head coach. You're at the top of the organization. You sit at the top of the food chain, and your plans in your head only benefit you.
Yeah, but I don't have time to write all that.
Okay.
So there we are. That's why.
Okay.
I don't have time to write all that.
So you don't have time to be successful.
What? Well,
who's got that kind of time?
Well, I could be successful. I can just tell my folks what they need to do, and they'll do it.
Okay. Do you know that the average attention span for a human being is literally like 1.8 seconds, something in that neighborhood? So that means that you could think about how many times you've been in a conversation at a networking event, and a person tells you their name, and before they say anything else, you've already forgotten it.
Well, don't
so
talk
you want to
about
trust
me on the air.
these types of people. So you want to verbalize your plan to, and have them go out and execute in your business. Are you kidding me?
Well, but it happens, John.
I know it does, and it leaves me exasperated when I think about
you
the fact.
Sound exasperated.
I mean, I really want to come across as being able to show you how important this is for these guys to put a plan together. And I know you and I beat this to death.
Yeah,
but the reason that we do
is because you cannot be successful by accident.
No, you cannot.
In business, you cannot be successful by accident. When you see these people in business and they're amazingly successful, they're making the money you want to make. They live the way you want to live. They drive what you want to drive. They go on vacation where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really, as a small business person, believe that they got there by accident?
No. Not for 1 second.
Not for 1 second.
You can't surmise it by saying they had great parents, they had better contacts, they had better education. We could pull out a successful person to debunk every single one of those myths.
That's right.
It's what you do daily that leads you to success, nothing else.
Right.
So we got to ask you, you need to define where you want to grow. And I didn't say go. I said GROW. Define where you want to grow. So when putting your plan together, we're going to figure out where is it that we're looking to grow this organization, because I know that your plan, where your destination, where you want to be is not where you are now. So we have to grow you to that point. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. But now, so I agree with that. I agree with that. I was just throwing out some sentiments that I've heard.
Oh, absolutely. We both hear them.
Okay. Now, so are there steps that somebody should follow to do this?
I think so.
And so now, when I'm big on systems and processes.
Yes, you are.
I really am big on that. What steps are the best if there is such a thing? Because I would guess that just about everybody's slightly different in how they're developing their model.
Mm-hmm.
What are the steps that they need to go through?
I think the first thing that you want to do is you want to create a plan with a well-defined destination.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Because it's impossible to create a plan without first figuring out, because that's all a plan is. A plan is saying, hey, I want to get from here way over there.
Right.
That's my plan.
Right.
That's my destination. That's my mark of achievement. That's my goal.
Right.
So you have to figure out first, where do you want to be in your organization? And Herb, there are a lot of people that we consult with when we ask them, what's this all for?
Right.
Where are you going with this?
Right. That's right.
You hear that silence?
Yeah, that's what we hear.
That's what we hear.
That's right.
and sometimes we've had people say, you know what? No one's ever asked me that before.
Right.
And it's okay. But we're asking you now, where is it that you want to grow? Now, once we define what that mark of achievement is for your organization, now step 2 is we need to define what are the necessary steps that need to be taken to achieve this goal.
Right.
And you got to be specific.
You got to be specific, because let me tell you what, if you're not specific now, you're going to wind up anywhere. And you know what, John, I'm almost of the impression that perhaps a lot of people don't go to the trouble to be specific so that wherever they wind up is okay.
Yeah. And you know what? And the first 2 companies that I failed and ran in the ground,
right,
I operated that way.
That's the way you operate.
I really didn't want to plan, because I didn't want to say that I put it all on the line. I did everything that I was supposed to do, and it wasn't good enough, and I failed.
Right.
So I just sort of did whatever, and I failed. But
anyway,
but at least, I could say that, I didn't really do everything that I should have done.
Okay. So a lot of small business people will say, well, I didn't plan well and this business failed. And now if I plan and the business failed, what's the difference?
Well, you still got the same result.
Right.
But here's the difference, in my opinion.
Okay.
There's no entrepreneur. You're not truly an entrepreneur if you go out and fail one time and then you cash it all.
Oh, yeah. Then you go back and get a job.
Yeah, that's a lotto player.
Yeah.
But a true entrepreneur is going to fail fast and often enough, that they fix what those issues were.
That's absolutely
so
true.
Once I became a professional entrepreneur, I realized that I had to take my ego out of it, figure out the things that I know I did wrong, fix those first, so that the next time around I could prepare for the things that I didn't know that I was doing wrong.
Now, during that time, though, John, did you develop or get calloused against failure? In other words, does failure or the prospect of failure, does that bother you at all now?
Not now, it doesn't. No, but then it did.
Back
because
then
I had a lot of ego.
Right.
and my ego was such that I didn't want to fail. I couldn't stand criticism, and I had all those issues that kept me from growing. And really, all those things are chains,
right?
That keep you bound to smalldom, if that is a word.
Smalldom. What?
If that is a word.
John,
So if you want to get out of small,
only on this show would you hear about the city of Smalldom.
The city of Smalldom. We want to get you out of that town.
Is it a city of Texas?
It probably is, but you know what I hear? I hear that both city limit signs are on the same stick.
Oh, that's a small town. You do not want to be in that town. The city of Smalldom.
Smalldom. So we want to get you out of there. And you have to be specific. And some of the questions that we'll take this in the break, but some of the questions that you need to ask yourself, or your plan should answer some of these questions. What are you doing? How do you do it? Where are you going? How will you get there?
Right.
What resources do you need? How will you get them? We'll cover the rest of them when we come back. But those are some of the questions that your plan has to cover. So when Irv and I say be specific, we mean that we should be able to read your plan and understand not only where you're going, but definitively, and what's most important, how you're going to get there.
We're going to map you out of the city of Smalldom when we come back right after this. Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, and it's brought to you by the Lexington Law Firm. When you need credit help, get a free consultation today by calling 888-744-7081. Brought to you also by Sales Nexus. If you have not gotten your free copy of Sales Nexus, go to salesnexus.com, where you can get a customer relationship management system that will help you grow your business. We'll return in a moment.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan. The storm's coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Gotham's Reckoning. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Irv and I are talking about getting on base today. How are you getting on base in your business? What needs to happen? What are those systematic things that you should be doing every day in your business to make certain that you are making those incremental steps towards your ultimate goal, which is whatever level of success that you deem as the place that you want to arrive at for your organization. That's what we want to keep you focused on.
Yeah, and learn how to move out of Smalldom, Texas.
And get out of Smalldom. Yeah,
get out of.
Well, Smalldom, there's a city in every state.
It's a Smalldom in every state.
Every state. It's
wow.
everywhere. Yeah, so we want to make certain that we stay out of that place.
The Smalldom state of mind.
So now we talked about step one. Step one was planning.
Right.
Define where you want to grow, because that's all your plan is. It's about your growth. It's about where you're taking your organization, and a growth process has to happen. You want to be specific in that plan so that you get on base in your business. You got to plan. You got to be specific. Some of those questions that your plan should answer: what resources do you need? How will you get them? What people do you need? How will you get them? How long will this take? Can you become more efficient? Can you do it faster? So those are some of the things that your plan should talk about. You think I'm missing anything?
No. I feel really good about that because I think I can follow that.
Well, those are the things that your plan should talk about. Now, there are other things that should be in there, other elements, but at least at the basic level, those questions should be answered when someone picks up your plan and starts reading it. Now, we did talk about in the first segment those individuals who just have their plan in their head.
Right.
And they verbally tell their team,
right?
And we made the link towards if you were or rather, if I was Tom Brady and this were the Patriots, what happens if Belichick only tells him what the playbook says instead of printing one out for him? You got to have a written plan, and you have to use that plan to get all of your people on board. They all have to understand where that organization is going, because you can't have one person working in the fold that doesn't know the ultimate goal of where we're trying to take this.
Yeah, if everybody's not in on it, folks,
that's right.
And whatever it is what you've determined to be success for your company, everyone in the business has to be in on it. And it's very, very difficult to do that, to get people in on it when the it does not exist and it's stuck in your head.
Step one, let's define your plan. Step two, to put your plan together. Put those steps together that are going to get you there.
Right.
Now, step three, let's talk about, this is probably one of the most important aspects of getting on base in your business.
Okay.
People.
Yes.
People. There's nothing that you do that does not involve people at some point. Even if you're a one-man show, your business still involves people.
Well, I would think especially if you're a one-man show.
Exactly. You may be it. You may be the people. But the thing is that somewhere, somehow, people are going to come into play. And there's an approach that you have to take. Now, let's start at the top, Irv.
Okay.
Now, at the top of that organization, you have the president, the owner, the board of directors, and you may be all of those. Mm-hmm. But you need to take full inventory of yourself as the leader of your company. Once you've defined your plan, and you've put your steps together that you feel are necessary to get to that level of achievement, you have to ask yourself, and this is the tough thing, are you the right leader to accomplish this?
I knew you were going to ask this question. Look, folks, this is an extremely dangerous question and necessary question.
You might need to sit in a dark room with,
absolutely.
with a glass of Merlot.
Absolutely. And find the courage in the bottom of the bottle. But no, seriously, you've got to take an assessment of yourself and whether or not you're in the position with whatever your strengths and weaknesses are. Look, folks, we all have strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
We all have something somewhere, somehow that we're not necessarily good at.
That's right.
Even though you might be the kind of person that feels like those things are few and far in between, nonetheless, it's those things that you've got to take an assessment of and communicate whether or not and I mean communicate with yourself. You've got to have this conversation, John, I believe, with yourself, just like you would question yourself about whether or not you're the right guy.
You won't have the explosive growth in your organization until you've had this conversation with yourself, and until you have reduced your strengths and your weaknesses to paper.
That's right.
You have to know. Now, this is something that you probably don't want to show anybody, especially your competition, maybe not even your employees.
Right.
But this is something that you have to do. I guarantee you that any head of any successful company knows two things. They know what they're good at, and they know what they absolutely suck at.
That's right. It's stuff, folks, that perhaps if you're married or have a significant other, that your spouse or your partner would know.
They can help you with that.
And they can help you with that.
And be prepared. That list may be long, you know.
That's
Give them a fresh pencil.
That's right. Yeah. And look, you got to be ready to get over whatever it is they tell you.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. And this is to build you up.
Yeah. So you got to be able to get over that. And you know, my thing is, John, you know, I've actually done that a couple of times. And
this is something that I do every year.
Yeah, and I've only done it a couple of times. That's all I could stomach. You know, and I got to tell you, each time it's very humbling.
Yes, it is.
And the other thing, though, is it's true. It's true because you want to do that with someone who cares about you and or at least has a vested interest in your success.
Certainly. Now, you want to take full inventory of your team.
Oh, well, that's another tough one.
Not just your team. When I say your team, I'm not talking about just employees. I'm talking about everyone who has any level of involvement in your company's success. If you're a trucking company, yeah, you may hire contractors. You may hire
about your vendors.
Your vendors, even. Yeah, your owner operators. Any person or any organization that plays a role in whether or not your company is deemed a good company by its customers or its clientele.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your employees, your associates, your contractors, your vendors. You need to take full inventory of every organization, every person that has any level of involvement with your brand.
Wow.
And you have to ask, these are some questions, Irv, that I think that they should ask themselves. Number one, are you coaching a Super Bowl caliber team? Which means that if your defined goal that was in step one, the goal that you're going to achieve, if that goal is the so-called Super Bowl, are you working or playing with the right players right now to get you there?
Right.
And you got to be honest with that. Then your next question has to be, what are their strengths and their weaknesses?
Wow. And see, if you're in a leadership position, that can be difficult if you really like those folks personally.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
this isn't about like.
Yeah. Right. Well,
and it's tough to say that. I mean, it's easy to say that, but it's tough to enforce that.
Exactly, because it's about winning, and you have to really be focused. You know, what we're talking about here, folks, is you have to be focused to ask these questions. Really, you got to be focused on winning,
right?
And you can't get personality into it, and that's why I was just saying, just kind of interjecting there, John. It's a tough thing to do.
Absolutely, but absolutely necessary.
Absolutely,
because the people that you employ expect you to be doing this to make certain that they are on the right track.
Right.
Because if the organization doesn't achieve the amount of growth that it wants to reach its goals, then how in the world can the employees ever expect or anticipate to grow financially through what they do for the organization?
Well, that's right. And then who wants to work in a company that's not growing and not going to be successful and has no clear path to that success?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And finally, if you're not coaching a Super Bowl caliber team, if you don't have a Super Bowl caliber organization that you're working with, what has to change?
Right.
Reduce that to writing.
And that might be you.
It could be the leader.
What if that's the, you know?
Well, I'll say this. If you're not the right person that should be on the field at all times, you need to change that.
You know, I saw this television show.
You need to become Jerry Jones and hire you a Barry Switzer.
Yeah, that's right. I'm reminded of this reality television show. I forget what it's called, and you know, I'm probably shouldn't call the name of it anyway. But this guy goes around. He's a consultant. And he goes around and he looks at bars, and he fixes them. And there was one particular episode I saw, John. He goes in, he looks at all the personnel, he looks at all these things that we're talking about here on the show, and he determines that the problem with the bar is the owner.
Oh, I've seen that show.
He's actually one of the owners.
Yeah, I've seen that show.
And he asked the owner to leave and go find something else to do. And sure enough, folks, it got much better very quickly.
There's nothing wrong with that. If you have to bring in a manager that's going to do the things that are necessary for your organization to achieve its goal, its destination, it's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't say anything other than the fact it lends itself to the fact that you are a smart enough owner to bring in the type of talent necessary to achieve what it is that you've set out to achieve in your business.
Right.
That's all that it says.
That's right.
And, I have to add this, though, Irv. And the best thing that you can do as the head of your organization is to make sure that all weaknesses in your organization are covered at all times.
Wow.
That's the best thing that you can do. Now, the second best thing that you can do is to keep winners on the team.
Yes.
And anybody who isn't a winner, to quickly, expeditiously, unceremoniously remove them from the team.
Wow. You know, John, after this show, folks, we are going to do a segment on courage because this what we're talking about here, John. You come up with some of these topics, man, and I got to tell you, getting around the bases, certainly one of those things, but man, it takes a lot of courage to do
it. It does. It really does. And the thing is, you got to find the chutzpah. You got to find that something deep within you to get yourself on the track of winning. Right. And if you're going to win, it's going to be with the right people. And if you don't have the right, there's a saying that my mentor shared with me. I don't change people. I just change people.
Oh.
And that you should adopt that as your mantra. Don't change the people in your organization. Just change them if they're not working out.
Just change the people if it's not working out. Hey, if you have an ink pen that doesn't work, throw it out. Everything in your business is supposed to work. Absolutely. Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, brought to you by GrowSocial.com. Maximize social media like Facebook and Twitter for your business. Call Grow Social at 877-484-3961. We'll return in a moment.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan. The storm's coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Gotham's reckoning. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at sbtmagazine.net. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
All right, welcome back to the show. You're listening to Cruz and Hughes. We are on live every day from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can always find us on Ustream.tv or you can find us on Blog Talk. You're welcome to give us a phone call anytime you'd like to join the conversation, and all you have to do is pick up the phone and dial us at 347-857-3958. Again, that number to our studio is 347-857-3958. We're talking about today getting on base in your business. Are you getting on base? Are you doing the things that are necessary every single day and even when no one is looking, so that you can become great in your organization? And that's what greatness really is. It's doing the things that are necessary when nobody's watching.
Right.
You think about Michael Jordan. How many times did he take jump shots before we even knew the name Michael Jordan?
That's right.
How many times did he run drills? You know, you got to do the same thing in your business. It's those things that you have to be dedicated to. Now, Irv, we were talking about getting rid of people.
Right.
I hate to use that word.
Well,
of.
Yeah, let's see. Going in another direction, reduction in force.
Yeah, exactly. Attrition, downsizing.
We're like one of my old executives did one time, and this is a company-wide meeting, and he goes, "Folks, we're getting ready to go from a wide model to a deep model." That's what he did with his hands. For those of you who are watching, he says a wide model to a deep model. And what's interesting, everybody cheered. And I said,
something's not right.
Wait a minute.
What's that axe doing over there?
What's that axe doing over there? It's got blood on it already. So I don't know.
So that means somebody had to, be taken down.
Yeah, somebody's got to have the courage. When you're in a leadership position, one of the unpleasantries about being in that position is knowing when a particular person is not in a position with your company to win.
Right.
It's just as painful as it might be, and as courageous as you need to be to make that call. We have to be, as leaders, mindful that if someone is in our organization and they're underperforming, we have to be able to make that call and get them into a position where they can win.
Yeah.
And it may not necessarily be in our organization.
That's correct.
That's
correct.
The point.
You either develop them or you get them on the path that they need to be on with some other organization. You let them go. And you owe it to the people that are working in your organization to make that happen quickly.
Right.
And, Irv, you always have somebody out there who says one of two things. I know that I don't have a Super Bowl winning staff right now, but I can't afford to let go of this person.
Yeah, and see, I disagree with that kind of thinking.
Do you?
Yeah, I really do. I think you do need to be able to let someone go. I think the instant that you're unwilling or unable to let someone go, or you get yourself in a position as a business owner and you convey that somehow, I think you've really, really given yourself over to some problems going forward.
Well, what about the person who says, well, you know what, I can't afford to hire the right person that I need for this job, so I just got, Jimmy back, in distribution.
Yeah, well, as long as your expectations of that person are realistic. Is it going to help you win? No.
Right.
Because that person doesn't have the skills or inclination to get you there. If you're going to do that because you want to not be in your office alone, and that's the expectation, and that's what you're expecting, then perhaps that's fine. But in the context of winning, does that work for you? Are you going to put that person in your organization knowing full well that person is ill-equipped to succeed? How fair is that to Jimmy?
It's not fair to him. It's not fair for the people that work with Jimmy.
That's right.
And it's not fair to you as an owner.
That's right.
Because it's only going to bring you more mental strife because every day you're going to think about, I got a kicker playing quarterback, and I'm wondering why he's leading the league in interceptions.
That's right.
So, I mean, come on. You're setting yourself up for that level of failure. Get rid of Jimmy and go about doing the things that are necessary to get the right talent in. What has to happen in your model to make that a reality? I don't know because I'm not looking at your structure.
Right.
But I know that there is a solution. And my thing is that when a person asks that question, Irv, I can't afford to do this, I can't afford. Can you afford not to? That's the question.
Yeah, that is really the question.
What does that having that person in distribution or that person in accounting or that person in sales do to your overall brand?
Absolutely.
What does it do for your customer relationship?
Well, not only that, but overall, it's going to draw on the efficiency of your company, and not in a positive way. I'm always thinking about when I go and I analyze companies because I'm big on that. I'm big on performance analysis when I go in and take a look at a company's financials. And let me tell you what, folks, an inefficient company. A company is inefficient because its employees are inefficient. Now, whatever that inefficiency is irrelevant. It's inefficient, and it shows up in your numbers. And guess what? Your ability to grow and get access to capital, credit, all those things, that's going to directly affect how you are able to get access to those things. And guess what? If you've got an inefficiency, you better fix it.
And fast.
And fast.
That brings us up to the last point, which is performance. And since we're talking about people and how they perform, this is a great way to segue into this.
Sure.
And when you think about your customer, what do people actually pay for, Irv? When they employ a company or excuse me, when they go to purchase something, what is it that they really buy? Now, I know that they buy products and services. That's basically what we're all buying.
Sure.
But what is it that your customer really wants?
Yeah, well, they really want a solution.
Absolutely.
They really want a solution. They really want to benefit from your company's know-how.
That's it.
They want you to fix the problem, and you're only as good as the problem you can fix. And that know-how that those employees bring to the table to create that solution is important.
That's right.
And that's what people are paying for.
And that's what they're paying for. They're paying for know-how, and they're paying for solutions and or results. I'd say that those two are synonymous. So if you have everything else in your organization working on the right levels, if you got the right people, if you have a goal in mind, and if you've put those steps and you've laid it out for your team to understand and buy into, then your performance overall, would you say it should increase?
It should increase.
I would say so. I mean, and that on the basic level, that should help you improve your performance. And if your performance is getting better, that means you're getting on base more. That means that you're getting an opportunity to make new customer relationships.
Correct.
You're putting yourself in a position to win. One of the things that my high school coach used to tell me in basketball, never stop moving.
Right.
And when I stopped holding my shorts in the corner, waiting on somebody to find me, and I just ran all over the floor constantly, you'd be surprised how many times the ball just wound up in my chest.
That's exactly.
And in your business, you have to operate the same way. You never stop moving. You never take your eyes off of what it takes to get on base every single day and improve your overall performance.
Well, in saying that too, John, we probably need to touch on products and services at some point. And
we might have to do that on another show.
Yeah, we might have to. But I really want to set that up that we do come back to that, because we've talked about all of the basic rudiments of the success in your organization.
Right.
But ultimately, you're going to get to that solution, and that's where your products or services lie.
Certainly.
Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, brought to you by Ring Central. To get Ring Central's virtual PBX for your business, you can call them today at 888-716-5022. Stay with us. We're in the home stretch talking about getting on base. We'll return in a moment.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
free.
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan. The storm coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Gotham's reckoning. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
If you just now joined into the show, you've missed a good one. We've talked about the basic rules for getting on base in your business every single day. Those very small incremental things that you need to work on each and every day to make certain that you improve the performance in your organization. You can always go back to Blog Talk and go to our archives. We'll keep the shows there for you, for your listening pleasure. You want to sort of wrap up the thought?
Yeah, you know, John, I was thinking for today's show was so critical because a lot of times small business owners don't have anyone to say to them, hey, this is what you need to get focused on.
That's why they listen to us.
That's why they listen.
We're telling you.
And we literally tell you, hey, here is how you do this, folks. Here is why you do this. And here's why we know to tell you this is because we've suffered the pain of this not doing it.
Absolutely.
And that's why so many people listen to our show is because John and I are very candid about the successes and the failures that we've had in business over the years. And where else can they get this kind of information?
Nowhere but here. We're your small business mentors. If there's something that you would like us to add to the shows that we do, if there are topics that are important to you in your industry, if Irv and I don't know the answers, we have a wide swath of people that we depend on for information. We'll definitely find the right expert and bring them on the show. Now, to wrap up, the basic rules for getting on base in your business and improving your performance. Number one, define your business goal. Figure out where it is that the organization is growing towards and write that down. Secondly, you want to plan in detail the steps that are necessary to achieve that goal. Then thirdly, you want to employ the right people.
That's right.
And then lastly, You're going to perform at a high level each and every day, staying true to those things, and you're going to watch your organization improve its performance.
No doubt.
Guys, we want to thank you for tuning in to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. I'm John Cruz.
I'm Irv Hughes.
And this is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. We invite you here every day, live, Monday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Don't miss it. And until tomorrow, be smart, be successful, and above all else,
be in action.
And Irv and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.